What's Up Fandom Night, Episode 5, Cast Introduction. Alright, I'm going to start this with a big oops, because truth be told, this probably should have been the first episode to go up. We did a cast introduction specifically for the What's Up Fandom Night stuff. And then for some reason, which is beyond me, it got lost in the computer amongst hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other files. And I just come across it and I was like, crap, but better late than never. So here's the introduction to the cast. Welcome to Fandom Night, the show that actually has a neogenic recombinator. I'm your host, William Bush, Reploid Bill on fucking ReploidProductions.com. I was wondering how many people would get that reference, because that was like, they used that as a big excuse in our 90s Spider-Man deal. So, anybody that's been paying attention has known that I've been going back through the Spider-Man comics, and I started watching the 90s show, and that's what led to that intro right there. I remembered it was in like every other episode. It was their fix-all excuse for their storyline. It's how they created.
We got this thing. It'll fix everything.
It's how they fixed his mutation. It's how they created the lizard. It's how they created Morbius. It's how they created the Scorpion. I was like, come on, the fucking thing can't do everything. But
somebody's got to get hit with an electric eel.
Round this table, let's do the co-host thing.
I'm Shane McCree, Proto Guy.
Nick Bennett, the Din.
Seth Lovell, I also go by Sario.
All right.
Because Lone Paladin is too goddamn long to say now.
Lazy bastard.
We've been running this show for about 5 years now, and now that we're starting the podcast up again, and it's going pretty well, actually. Let's get this out of the way right now. Contact information. Hey guys, I know you're about to get your podcast on, so I'll be quick. If at any time you feel like dropping your own opinion into what we're talking about, head on over to fandomknight.com, and all of the contact information for every single one of our shows, including the one you're about to watch, is there. Alright guys, I'll leave you alone. And that takes care of all contact information, so you can,
contact us.
You can
get a hold of us, yes.
Now, all the business part of this is done. We've been running this show for about 5 years, so it's important to go over who's left, who's gone, and basically just give an idea as to what everybody is doing now here. I don't want to get ridiculous. I do a lot. I don't want I don't want to get ridiculous because I record and I was the main sound guy for a long time, and then I do almost
the editor for the longest time
all
until
the editing.
all laptops went boom.
I put a lot of the money in. I'm basically the producer, the director, the writer. Look, let's move on because there are other people. The fact of the matter is I do a lot, but I can't run the show by myself. It's not possible. There's a lot that goes into the show behind the scenes, especially, and there are other people involved here, and that's what I'm trying to get understood, is that I'm not the only person doing stuff, but it sounds like it sometimes.
Of course you are.
So, let's,
we're just a bunch of lazy bastards that sit around.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't dispute. Look, I don't dispute that fact, but I feel like you guys do something here. So,
yeah, I was about to say, I'm that jackass that usually sits in the corner and looks half stoned because I'm done working a third shift.
So going down the list, Shane, what's going on?
Not much. Well, I have, for the past,
let's see.
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
It's been that long, guy.
Yeah, which technically makes us, season 5 now, technically?
Yeah, we're starting season 5.
I wouldn't lie.
I was wondering about that last night, too.
I'm not going to lie. For the past 5 years, I have been, I've hosted a few of my shows, a few of the shows we've done.
You did unboxing. Yeah, you were main host on a couple of the unboxing. I don't think you ever sat front in any of the chairs. In terms of, no, you were a host on Dragon Ball, Death Note.
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah.
I know you were on at least one other episode as a head chair.
Wasn't it Prince of Persia?
No, that was
No.
me and Nick.
Yeah,
That's
right.
fine.
Yeah, it was the two of us.
And the
dumbass.
two
Look, that was many
hey,
moons ago now.
Hey, Bill, I found a place where I can get that movie for cheap. Guess what I'm buying?
I'm
Gonna
gonna
put
run
it
it
up
over.
on your shelf.
I'm gonna run it over. I said it back in way back in the very first episode ever posted. I said I'd run it over, and I'm gonna do it. Well, you put that thing on my shelf, and I'm gonna go run it over.
We're filming it too. That's going on YouTube.
No, but besides, hosting, being a host a little bit, mainly a co-host, won't lie. Haven't done much. Haven't done
You
much.
did a little bit of editing towards the end of season 4. Some of the Star Wars episode, about maybe 10 minutes of it, can be credited to Shane.
Yeah, he
during
did
the
help
ice
out.
planet.
That's
Yeah.
tedious as hell.
Yeah,
I know.
He also did do some of the special effects in that episode too. Like
I was-
the jiggling controller.
I was the
No,
jiggler.
I was
You
jiggling
assisted in
controller. Shane actually helped me with that one for making sure that your hand was
Shane
wrapped
has been a
in my
camera
t-shirt.
operator often,
Yeah.
though. He has
Yeah.
a steady hand, so usually when we need the camera not to move, but we need it to be held, like if we can't use the
Look,
tripod,
Look,
usually
just,
Shane is
just
helpful.
because I have quake syndrome and my hands shake real bad, like I
You
got.
shake like you're a member of the Parkinson's.
That's
Because I'm fat. You can poke my toe and my nose jiggles.
I'm not trying to sound disrespectful here, but there's nothing wrong with you, and you shake like you have a disorder.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but there's one other thing you're forgetting.
What's that?
You've also been the Reploid wallet.
Yeah, you've
You
been
have
the wallet.
put money
Yeah.
in for parts of the collection, actually.
And
That's-
not to mention the fact that the last few episodes we've been running, like most of Fandom Knight, have been done on your cell phone.
Yes, recently, ever since we started Fandom Night, we've been recording on my phone, and I've been posting.
We'll be going back to the camera. Look, the income tax thing is coming up and everything. I'll be able to get back to the camera soon. But right now, everybody knows, we've mentioned it a couple times, we are stuck filming on cell phones, and it has not been enjoyable. It's been a real pain. But that's, in terms of the collection, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of games and things like that I've put together, a lot of movies and things like that I've put together, and some of it stays here as part of my personal collection, but there are parts of it that have been bought for me and kind of donated to me, and then there are also things that are sometimes bought and brought here but aren't necessarily mine. They stay separate from the collection, and with all the reviews and things like that we do, it's impossible for me to have bought everything. So that does need to be said, that some of that stuff did come from other people.
Yeah, like a lot of the Super Nintendo collection is actually mine.
So we're actually moving to Seth now.
Yeah, because I've been doing pretty much the lights, which seeing as how, there's not really much need to rearrange them.
I swear to God, if you
You know.
flip that light on right now while we're doing this podcast,
Flip!
I will kill you.
Light of God in Nick's eyes.
Do it.
But yeah, no, the main light that we use, the floodlight, is actually one that I went out and bought. After that, I was helping with some of the special effects. Like, I went out and I bought up a bunch of incense for Nick's hand when we cut it off in the Star Wars thing.
Hey, you're not supposed to tell the tricks of the trade, damn it.
Look, I know we're not supposed to, but I watched the video
That's-
the other night, and it's actually slightly noticeable.
Look,
I thought we hit it.
We're
but-
very 1930s special effects. Like,
Yeah.
we're
Look, we're
not
doing
high
special
budget here.
effects on a budget, okay?
But
Not only
really-
that, we also need to get an insurance
Really,
policy
it
for me.
creates, but it really creates an interesting atmosphere, though, because old filmmakers and whatnot, they had to find ways to make that happen. No, there was no CG, and even though I could have paid somebody to CG Nick's hand off, it was more interesting to do a form of visual effect like an actual filmmaker. That was something that I was interested in doing. Like classic films interest me because what you see, they had to figure out how to do that. Like The Invisible Man.
Wait, what? You mean they had to figure out how to fall down on a torch and bunch of the old movies
one of the
live?
best effects of the 1930s was The Invisible Man. That's one of the greatest effects that I ever seen back then, and it took years for me to finally dig up information on how that was done. I actually got to talk. It was on this website where you go and you can text back and forth with different people that have been in the movies, and that I got to talk with this lady who worked on that movie. She was one of the actresses. I'm not 100% sure as to which actress she was, but I got to ask a question. I said, do you know how she was done, how it happened, how he was invisible? Yeah. And what she told me is that they'd figured out, they made this big black velvet suit that the dude wore. And then, for some reason, black didn't appear on the camera. So what they would do was they would film the room, then they would film him in the black, and when they laid the film over each other, that black velvet would just disappear off the film, so he was invisible. So when he took the wrapping off and there was the black velvet suit underneath, and they'd already filmed the room from the exact same angle, when the two films were put together, he was invisible. Like, how they figured out how to do that back then,
pretty amazing. Yeah, I'll give them that.
That, to me, is what movie magic is about. Like, CGI has pretty much destroyed the inventive process of what movies are today.
Yeah, exactly. However, at the same time, along with special effects, I also made up the fake urine.
You're a liar.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jeremy and I, our friend Jeremy Waller, ended up helping me to create the fake urine that was not only splashed in Bill's face.
I was asked by a fan. This is not a joke. I got an email asking if Spencer actually pissed in the bottle.
No, it's actually yellow food coloring that we poured too much in, so it kind of came out like he hadn't drank water in about a fortnight.
Yes. But be honest with you, if you've ever met Spencer, motherfucker don't drink no water, so
he actually would piss in that bottle.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's the other thing that's unique to Spencer. In
general. You mean kind of like in the old Reploid intro where he's sitting on the toilet reading Pokemon and he actually has his pants down.
Bill!
Taking his shit!
We were debating who was going to sit on the toilet, and he's like, "Fuck, I'll do it."
And did you just say Bill taking a shit?
True, yes. It's Jack taking
Jack, I don't care.
My bad.
I decided to say Bill because I was looking at Bill.
Yeah.
And plus, Jack hasn't been around in...
Yeah, true.
Seth is also one of the people that has donated a big portion of... I mean, there were Super Nintendo games that are kept off the shelf because some games he is keeping, but...
Yeah, mostly because my brother wants them back.
He pretty much supplied 50% of my SNES collection. That is a credit to Nick and Jeremy. Seth.
There you go.
Look,
You're trying to advance. We're trying to move it along.
I'm trying to move along, so let's move to Nick. I think we have covered everything that you've done. Even though you know how to edit, you've never really done it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've never really edited, but at the same time, I was going to try to come around, and then that's about the time when, well, PC broke. I was like, oh, god damn it.
The end of it.
I actually wanted to help for once instead of sitting around like a lazy jackass.
Well, let's see.
Speaking of lazy jackasses.
Yep. the king of lazy jackasses of the production company right here because my ass breaks chairs.
Yes,
seriously,
it does.
Kill count of chairs is up to what, 5?
4. It's 4. You destroyed the
original
I destroyed all 4 chairs.
I destroyed all 4 chairs. I forgot about the running gag. Let's see.
Including the one I sat in.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. I do some of the camera work from time to time still. I usually get the lights set up also nowadays. Yeah, I'm one of the actors. I'm the main voice actor for all of our stuff that we do for skits.
You'll actually recognize him. Yeah, he was the voice of Death in the episode. We never got to cut the episode, but the commercial for it went up. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of footage, but it's all footage that if I put it together, it wouldn't make any sense because all the filler pieces are still missing.
Yeah.
But he did the voice for Death.
Which Death was actually funny. We were all trying to be all evil and demonic, and Nick was just like, screw it, we're going Tales from the Crypt on this.
Yeah. I was like, fuck it, we're going to go for evil devious instead of evil maniacal. Good times. That, and I have been supplying parts of the collections here and there. I found a couple of movies for Bill every once in a while.
Nick is actually
a lot of the old games.
Nick has become the seeker. Actually, every week it has been his job to go to pawn shops surrounding our area.
Well, it really hasn't been my job. I just end up with time.
He usually reports back to me and tells me where things are. Like if he finds something that he can't buy, he'll tell me where it is, and then I can go get it.
Well, let's see. For your birthday, I picked you up Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on the NES.
It was decent.
Spy Hunter for the NES, just
It's
because why the
decent.
hell not? The most amazing Star Trek game on the SNES.
I guess
the
I'll
Next
call
Generation.
it decent. I'll call it decent.
And then an extremely rare find of Rock and Roll Racing.
Now that was motherfucking birthday right there. I about creamed in my goddamn drawers over that game coming back to the house. I've already beat it like 4 times since I got it, man.
I figured you would have played the shit out of
Dude,
it.
man, Rock and Roll Racing was my fucking nut. It was important.
I picked up a really, really damn good copy of Elder Scrolls Morrowind for you.
Yeah, you're looking to get the collector's edition for yourself, if I'm not mistaken.
Hopefully, if I can, awesome. Then
He's
we might
got
have to go back and do a quick.
He's got this guy at a pawn shop that sometimes he knows Nick now. He'll look for shit for Nick. And he claims that he has a copy, a good copy, case, book, map, the collector's edition of Morrowind for the Xbox. And he told Nick that as soon as he finds it, Nick has first dib on it.
Hey, for $10,
You mean-
fuck yeah.
Yeah,
And he's only asking $10 on it too.
Nice.
Well,
I was about
got
to say kind
Morrowind
of like
for
how.
$5, and it's in mint condition.
True.
Yeah, it looks really good. Especially once you get into games, especially disc-based games. Once you get to about 10, 15 years old, you're asking for trouble. When you buy those games, you take a chance. Like sometimes there's not even visible damage on the disc, and they simply don't work.
Yeah, I actually did that. I had to buy up 2 copies of Morrowind when I got mine because the first one I got, I was like, "Hells yes!" Put it in. It started up. Got through the thing. I was like, all right, making character. And in the middle of making character, it screwed up. And I tried it again. Got to middle of making it, screwed up. So I just said, screw it. Started up. It's still screwed up.
What's my favorite game in terms of the making a character? When you start the game, okay, now I'm going to explain it to you. Now, you guys know what this game is. I didn't get to play it. I was playing something else. Yeah. They're like trying to build your memory, and they show you ink blots, and there's one ink blot that looks like a bear wearing a gi doing kung fu.
Fallout New Vegas.
Is that it?
It's 2 bears or 2 ninja bears high fiving.
Yeah. I pointed that out, and everybody's seen it in the room. I was like, they're like ninja bears! And everybody was like, what? The fuck? Until they looked at it, and they were like, holy fuck, those are ninja bears!
Yeah.
Dude, I love the Ninja Bears.
But it's okay because Nick also has one more credit. He's the douchebag that is still trying to challenge us to one of the most pain in the ass.
Oh no! I'm not challenging you. It was a promise I made back in season 4 during the Turtles episode.
That's something that we're going to be talking about. Actually, Fandom Knight
it's on the shelf.
Fandom Knight will be making good on the promises of the past. I'm going to be reviewing every episode that we've done, figuring out episodes that we promised that we did not do.
Dragon Ball Z apparently,
and we're going to do something. Yeah. It might not be exactly what we had in mind, but we're going to make good on it. Like we promised a Silver Surfer episode, we didn't do it.
Nick did buy that motherfucking game and put it on the shelf, though.
We promised a review of the Justice League reboot comic, and we didn't do it, and that's a shame because now the movie is out, Justice League War, and for anybody that's seen it, we missed an opportunity there. That is one of the best comics I have ever read. It is really, really good.
I don't even read comics, and I read it,
Yep.
so that tells you something.
I believe we're moving on to Jeremy, actually.
Hey, disembodied voice of the beyond.
Yes.
Welcome to the podcast, briefly.
Jeremy actually has been, when you do hear him, it's real brief, and it's usually like one comment or something like that.
It's usually a
jackass in Metal Gear, it works like this.
Yeah.
It's usually a bash on Seth or me.
Yeah.
The fat guys.
He's a major behind the scenes addition though. He locates games and things like that for me sometimes. He's the guy that when I need a sound effect like pissing, I call Jeremy.
And finds a clip.
Yeah, I'm the one.
Or he makes it.
I'm the one that makes it awkward for Jeremy because I call him one night and I'm like, Jeremy, I need pissing, and he was like, what? I need pissing, Jeremy. I don't care how you get it. I don't want to know how you get it. I need pissing.
Oh god, it's great.
You should have just hung up there.
Yeah.
Awkward as shit. Need pissing.
But he got it. He brought like 4 different pissing sound bits that I was able to pick from, and I split those sound bits up in our Sound Forge. I split them into like I took all 4 of them. And I took sections of them and ripped them in different things. So like the first 2 splashes are like the first sound bit. The second splash is like the third sound bit. The long part is the 4th sound bit. And the second sound bit is what I used to finish the pissing off. So I actually used all the pissing.
Man, he really took the piss out of you guys.
Let's see, beyond that, it's been a lot of the behind-the-scenes
Camera, lights.
ideas.
Special effects, too, has been in part when we don't know how to do something. We'll discuss it in a good portion of the time.
And Jeremy comes up
will
with a
be
good
like,
idea.
what about this? Or something like that. And like,
Victory Cola.
Victory Cola.
Victory Cola.
Victory
Death.
Cola.
Death Skit.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
actually,
he was the genius
he
that
was
was
there.
like-
He was there behind the scenes that whole time because that skit was a nightmare. Like, it doesn't look like it. It's so short, but that skit literally, we started filming at like 8 in the morning, and we weren't done
God,
till
yeah.
almost like 9 at night. Like we kept trying to record the voice, and it wasn't working. And then we tried to make the puppet work, and it wasn't working.
Until me and Jeremy figured out how to get Death to move properly.
It was
We're
just like-
all right, we got this.
one issue after another with that skit. Like, for a skit that's like 1 minute and 30 seconds, that thing was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I know.
It was fun as shit.
It would have
Oh,
been
yeah,
a
it
great
was
episode.
fun.
The only
Man, holding that
downside-
damn boom for that.
The,
oh my
the
god.
only downside was I really couldn't talk the next day.
Yeah.
Which
Because we
was
had to
awesome.
keep getting
Yeah, that was great for us.
You're welcome.
You know what? We're keep this. And
That was Bottles by Nick.
Hey, look, we
record
already got a sound
companies-
effect.
Record
Hey.
companies, if you want to sign me up, you can have the wonderful music of Bottles
I
for a low price of $19.99.
I don't think any of the editing was Jeremy. Jeremy a lot of times will watch the episodes and comment on things that aren't working, though, too, which allows us to address problems later on, actually.
Hey, Jeremy,
He'll
you're
bring a
an
lot of that
analytics
stuff
guy.
to my attention. So that's actually been pretty helpful in the long run.
Shit, now we got to give you a raise.
Damn it.
Yeah, we'll give him
My own bottle of Victory Cola, damn it.
my own bottle.
I swear to
HR
God, you know,
recognizes your wants. You're just probably not going to get it.
You just probably not. But we recognized it. We're on Greg, actually.
Greg isn't
Greg
on
has been a
videos
host
anymore?
Well, Greg has been a host because he goes to the Gen Cons. He's an actual competitor in the World Tournament for HeroClix.
Yep.
He's really, really good at it. And actually, though, the World Tournament winner this year for Gen Con, he wore one of our shirts. Actually, he wore one of the Reploid production shirts.
That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
I didn't know if you'd actually wear it, though.
Yeah, he actually
Shane, I don't know
wore
why
our
you're
shirt.
showing off yours, dude. This is
For
radio.
you guys
I like
to
how-
see.
I like how
radio.
This is radio, and he's like, look, I got
Look
it
at
on
my
right
shirt.
now.
We're on radio. Look at my shirt.
It's for the people who can actually
I could
see
be sitting
me.
here without pants on, and these people wouldn't know.
Now they will.
You guys would.
And then we will be pointing it out.
Yeah, so they would know.
Be like, damn, look at the skid mark in Nick's jaws.
Really?
Wipe your ass.
That's the
You
best
need to
one
wash
you can
your
come up
ass.
Greg,
All right,
Greg.
I'm not Chris, okay?
Greg has been a host, and he's been a co-host, not very often, and he's not very spoken on camera, so he doesn't show up that often
No, he
for
was more
filming stuff.
prominent in the podcasts themselves.
Yes, and he's pretty much, he's one of the money givers, really. He's one of the guys that he pays for a lot of the web space and shit like that.
He also
that keeps
runs
us
our
going.
website.
Yeah.
He runs the website,
He's our
which
administrator, is
we're-
basically what he is.
yeah,
Yeah.
really, that's exactly what he is. He's also my go-to business. He has a business degree, so like when I have questions in terms of stuff like that, that's usually who I talk to.
Didn't he also do some HeroClix unboxings?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
a
that's
couple of those.
that's why I say he's also a host, because all the HeroClix stuff is run through Greg. He's actually good enough where he's been accepted that he could go be a judge. He knows the rules in and out, everything, even the new stuff. Like, they send him pamphlets and stuff when new rules are made or when adjustments or changes are done. And like I said, he's a world competitor. He's damn good. And another guy that's actually really good on staff, but he never talks about it, is actually Spencer's a damn good, like, they're training partners, actually. So,
Nice.
and yeah, we're actually on Spencer. Well, segue, we're on Spencer, actually.
Wait, why did everybody give me shit when I said it last time, and now all of a sudden nobody's saying anything about it?
What?
Jackasses.
Spencer is... He doesn't show up nearly what he used to.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. That's not necessarily saying he won't be back, but he's definitely not involved with us the way he used to be.
Yeah.
He's pretty much one of the actors for, like, skits, but he's also been a host and a co-host.
Yeah, he did crap, what the hell was it? He did the review on Crackdown.
Yeah, he did that. Yeah, that was all his
I'm
thing.
trying to remember what he called it, though.
Back from the Shadows.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It was basically over, like, the obscure Xbox and older games that people might have overlooked.
Yep. Yeah, it
Which
was.
reminds me, I gotta hunt down Caveman games.
I actually had a really great time with that. I actually enjoyed watching that.
Oh my god, me and you were just about to fall over laughing our asses off.
I don't want to like discredit him or anything like that. He's helped me with a couple ideas. Like, okay, back when I was first coming up with the Annoyed Gamer Revenge, I was talking with him an awful lot about it throughout the day. Like, it started as one joke, and throughout the course of like an 8-hour workday, we slowly progressed to where we ended up, which was when I finally revealed it to you guys at Hardy's. I was like, okay, who wants to piss? And everybody was like, what? Like, and then I tried to explain the skit, and we went through a couple things on that. I couldn't get the obnoxiousness that I needed from Shane. Like, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, Shane wanted to be the gamer, but I couldn't get him to be douchey enough, which is amazing, because Shane can be a douche. Look, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but Shane can be a douche.
She just got this big smile looking away. He's like, I am going to shit in your fucking Wheaties.
That's
I swear to
no,
God.
no.
That's why I can't believe I couldn't get him to be a big enough douche.
No, it's true. I'm a dick.
And I wasn't available because I was at work.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you need a jackass, you call me. If you need somebody to break a chair, you call a Nick. If you need a douche, you call up a Shane.
If you need a douche,
Is that all I'm here for, is to break more chairs?
Yes, that's why we all got metal chairs now.
So you stay seated, because I like that chair.
It's alright, I'll just take care of the couch.
Let's move to Kevin. Kevin,
He's done a little bit of hosting stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's ever really co-hosted.
yes.
yes.
He was a
Yes.
co-host in the very first episode, actually, and he's also been a co-host to Shane directly. And,
Well, I was meaning, like, in the front chairs. That was me and you for the first episode.
No, he never sat center chair, and he was co-host for like Sands of Time, and he was also a co-host in Back to the Future.
Yeah.
He was
that
also
was me, you, him, and Jason.
Jason.
He was also in the video with you, Bill. 3-card bullshit.
He was.
No,
He got to-
no. 3-card bills.
He got to
we all
lose.
know what it was.
He got to lose in 3-card bullshit.
By the way, there's an actual how-to video coming out someday.
Yes,
Yes.
I have been requested at the most ridiculous. Look, this isn't just one person, mind you.
Are you
okay? No,
shitting
it's
me?
not a
This
joke.
is multiple fucking
I have
people.
received-
They want rules on
I
how
have
to fucking build
received
shit.
I have received comments on the video. I have received comments on one of our other network things where we post, and I have received direct emails, like 17 direct emails asking how to play the game.
Okay, let me
It's
explain.
like high school all over
yeah,
again.
yeah, let me explain how to play the game. The way it used to work is when we would go up to our high school, we would sit in the cafeteria in the morning, people would eat breakfast, Bill would bring his deck of cards and play this game.
I don't even know how
Some
this started.
kid- I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is some kid showed up and started writing down plays and rules
He
in a
did.
notebook.
He was watching
trying
me
to
as I
become
play.
the
Okay,
best player.
let's get this out of the way real quick.
The ace of spades.
There are no rules.
Well, I figured that much out on my own.
It is how fast and how well you can
Yes.
bullshit the other player.
It's
Yes.
how fast you can come up with bogus-ass rules that make the other player lose. And if your rules by the group don't sound acceptable, and mine sound better than the rules that you put out, then I'll end up winning that hand.
Which, by the way, just to let you guys know, if there was a person, if you have a friend named Bill, and you tried to play this game against them, you lose automatically because there is one rule.
There is
Bill
no rule.
always
Bill
wins.
always wins.
Yes, the only rule...
There are even
There are
times.
two rules.
Yeah.
There are two rules.
There are no
when
rules.
the cards go
except
down,
for-
the second the first card touches the table, people need to start making rules.
Yep.
Almost like right when the first card touches the table. The second rule is actually, even if it looks like Bill is losing, Bill automatically wins every hand.
Yeah.
It's a written rule.
There was a hand.
And actually, I've done that rule one time.
Yeah,
Where
against me.
somebody caught me on something, I can't remember what it was. They got a better rule in place than I did, and I was like, well, I can't argue with that, but the second rule of the game is that no matter what, I win every hand every time because my name is Bill, and I just took the cards off the table.
Yeah, and then
they
I
were
got-
like,
no.
they were like, that's a fucking rule.
Bill, that was me. I got pissed off and I stormed out of the cafeteria. I didn't talk to you for a week.
I played. People thought this was a real game.
It was pretty
Yeah.
pissed
I played
off.
it in the cafeteria every single day.
We just get random people to
sit down
sit
and play.
down
Yeah.
and play,
Well,
and they
say-
get pissed off. and we just sit there
people
and laugh.
started watching.
Yeah.
And it got more interesting when people started playing games on the side of me, like Seth would play with somebody and whatnot, because they started to figure it out. So
Yeah.
they were saying things, and there was actually a guy who was
broke
coming
down
in every day, and he had a
everything.
notebook. And he kept writing down rules, trying to teach himself how to play. He was taking it real fucking serious.
Yeah.
Like, he
Oh,
thought
yeah.
this was real shit.
And
Where
he
there were
came
like
up with the
hundreds of
quote-unquote
rules.
best hand that can never be defeated.
Well, he fucking, one day, after I beat him like 3 times already or something like that, he sits down and he's like, I'm gonna play you. I'm gonna play you. Well, we get to playing, and all of a sudden we get to this hand, and I was like, bam, bam, bam. And I went to speak my rule, and he was like, nope. He was like, you messed up, you're saying something wrong, because it says, and he went into his notebook, and he actually looked around in his notebook where he'd written the cards that I had, like ace, jack, 3, and stuff like that, and then written the rule on how I won. And he was like, this hand right here, because these two automatically cancel, and this, like that. And I was like, because right after he got me on this rule, I looked at his hand. He had 2 jacks and an ace, which was like I'm trying to think, it's like the clovery ace. And for some
Ace
reason,
of
it
spades.
automatically made me
Chandelier.
think of upside down a chandelier. And I was like, nope. And he was like, yep. And I was like, faggots on a chandelier.
Yep. Greatest
He gave
move.
me
second
this
greatest
look.
move ever.
He gave me this look like, what? And I was like, those are 2 jacks, gay with each other on the chandelier. You lose automatically because that shit is gay.
Also,
that's still not the greatest.
Oh, wait,
He was
wait,
so
wait,
mad
wait,
he didn't
time
even
out.
finish the game.
Time out. All right, sorry. Politically correctness for all of our gay viewers. We do not hate you.
Yeah.
We do not bash on you. This was back when we were kids.
Yeah, it was one of those things. But I
Yeah,
remember,
we're high school idiots.
I
what do you
remember the
expect?
funniest thing though.
We were high school idiots.
Yeah.
No, don't
true.
put me
Now-
in.
now
I didn't
we're
even go to high
idiotic.
school with you guys.
The-
Now we're
Yeah.
idiotic adults.
One of the
Yes.
funniest things ever from that game, actually, though, was later on, and I don't remember what caused it. Somebody got me with this faggots on a chandelier thing.
I think it was me. I got lucky and got you on it.
But
but
that was
Seth
like-
had the ace of spades.
Yes, that
somebody,
one.
yeah, it was like, it was something ridiculous. Like, I got the faggots on a chandelier, and somebody called it. It might have been Seth. He was like,
Yeah.
faggots on a chandelier, you automatically lose because that's gay. And I looked across the table, and he had an ace, and I jumped up. And I was like, the ace of spades! And I started kicking at the table and knocked the cards over, and I was like, because your cards are no longer on the table, because of the ace of spades, faggots on a chandelier is victorious. And he was like, man, I'm done playing this fucking game. He's like, I'm done playing this fucking game.
No, my exact words were, I'm done playing this game with you.
Yeah, so that's what happened with the branch off with the other games.
Yeah, that's why I started playing with everybody else.
But yeah, so this game went on for a long time.
Not to mention, on
even
the recorded
after you left
one.
High school, I think we still played it for another year or two.
Yes.
I refuse to play it.
I
refuse.
When Kevin was gone for 2 years, I was like,
how do we get him back? Epic game
time. I was like, we're going to play an epic game. Now, there are a lot of rules, but I'll try to walk you through it step by step so that you'll... And I remember, like, the first hand, he was like, no, wait. I had the better hand there. And I was like, no, you didn't. Because this, and they cancel, and this guy, he actually has no value, because these two guys, I can combine cards that's a higher value in your card. So then the very next hand, he had the same thing that I just had, and he was like when I won that hand, he's like, no, wait. You just won the last one because of that. Why didn't I win? And I was like, because I told you. The Jack actually gets no value. He automatically is erased from the game as soon as he goes down, and you're not allowed to play doubles. And he was like, are you making up rules?
He found it out the second.
Yeah.
Now, he's like, when do I make up rules?
Yeah, but like I've been trying to say for the past 5 minutes, though, after we filmed that, me and Nick played a game, and it was funny because me and Nick are just like shouting shit and like throwing cards.
We were keeping up with each other.
Oh yeah, we were keeping up. Finally, like I think I started grabbing up cards and throwing them, and I was like, you know what? Bill wins, and Bill goes, dude, sweet. I'm not even playing.
I found this kind of ironic because we were talking about Kevin. Because we're still technically on Kevin.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this terrible card game that we'll never play.
Yeah.
You're going to play it.
And ironically, when Kevin came back to play this game, I haven't seen him since.
It's true. He hasn't been in an episode since he lost that game.
That was 11.
No. He hasn't been in one of our group episodes.
Yes.
Now, Kevin actually told me he is burnt out. He is an editor. He's edited a couple episodes. All of his own stuff is his doing. He's been a host, a co-host, but as of recently, I don't know if he's coming back. There's a chance that he's not coming back. He's pretty burnt out on it. And that's just the way it is. We're going to have to move on to Jack.
This is easy. He was on camera like once.
Twice.
Yeah, he was on camera twice.
He's
now
ran camera a bit for us.
He was on camera on Death Note.
Yeah, I wasn't around for that.
But he never spoke once.
So that doesn't count.
But he was. The camera does pan over. The camera pans over and sees him. Then the conversation starts and it points this way, and it never went back.
Yes.
He never said
it turned into the 3 chairs that night.
Yep.
Just like he was in for...
that was the first chair my ass broke.
He actually was head chair on one thing.
What?
Oh, yeah. The boner meds.
Oh, yeah, the
boner meds.
The really awkward, weird
He joined you.
He started it.
Yeah,
he did.
That wasn't even an episode I was going to do. I was joking around. I was sitting over at the computer doing something, and he was like, so today I'd like to talk to you about Viagra. It's pretty magical. Unless it lasts over 4 hours, then it's detrimental. And all of a sudden he said something that actually caught my interest immediately. He was like, have you heard about the guy that sues spam mail companies? And I was like, form the chairs! Because that's a real dude. He fucking...
4 chairs! Assemble!
You want to remember that episode.
Not to mention
he was the prominent camera operator when we first began. He
was doing most of that. Not to mention when we were doing a lot of the podcasts, like the big one I can remember is in one of the comic book episodes. No joke, he goes, I'm Jack. I'm the Jack of Spades. My call sign is Jack. And Bill goes, most people usually do go when they're jacked. That's all he said the entire night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bill even asked him, he goes, Marvel or DC?
He's in the first 3 podcasts. He's in the comic book. He's in the comic book, not discussion, the when the Thor movie came out. He's in that. He speaks once. He gives his call sign. Then he's done. Then he's in the first 2 Final Fantasies, and the only time you hear him is when he's
he was in the third Final Fantasy as well. No, he was in the first Final Fantasy and the third Final Fantasy.
And all he ever does is go, yeah, I didn't play this one. Yeah, I didn't play this one.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't play this one. He didn't even give scores at the end off hearing people's commentaries. Like, a lot of the other people, after they heard the commentaries, they were like,
dude, this game sounds fucking epic.
Yeah. This is my opinion score. Like, I'd never played FF7. Like, recently I've gone back and I'm trying to play it, but I get sidetracked by other games.
Yeah.
But even then, I still gave an opinion score. I was like, well, based off watching you guys playing it, me going, can I have a turn? No! I'm Cloud, damn it, go away!
Damn it.
Saving the world!
Saving people! I'm hanging out with my chick with big boobies!
But I haven't.
She did have watermelon yabos, that's true.
Pointy watermelon yabos.
Watch out for the pointy bits. I don't want to do this anymore. Goddamn Oni.
Torpedoes?
Do what?
Torpedoes.
Torpedoes.
But anyway,
We
even
must
then,
go and take the torpedoes.
but yeah, even then I was like, look, this is from me watching it and hearing you guys talk about it. I'm going to give it like a 3.5 just because I haven't played the damn thing yet.
We are now on Jason.
Jason, he's done camera work.
He's done that.
He has been an actor.
Yep.
He did editing. The first 2 episodes that were posted, he edited completely.
He was also in the How to Bash How Tos.
He was an actor because he was in for the Back to the Future.
Yes, he was.
That's a host. In
Well, he
terms
was
of
a host, actor, he was in the How
Super
to Bash
Game
on
Boy.
How Tos.
Super Game Boy. Yep.
So
he's been in a couple
He
of
was
skits.
the friend. He was the first friend of.
Yeah, he was the first ever friend.
I could never be friended up.
Yeah, it would take.
You make us lose a life.
See, I get friended up, and then almost like 10 seconds after I get friended up, our video stops now.
Yeah.
Fucking NES controllers.
Yeah, they did
literally
that.
stop it like 10 seconds after I get friended up because I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, nope.
The NES controllers. I think it's because NES is in our title. Nintendo's seen the review and they've put a stop on it. Once you get like a minute so into it or some shit, I don't know.
It's about close to 3. No, yeah,
it's not even. It's not even halfway through the video. It's like the first quarter of the video, and then it just pauses and stops. It won't let you go any further.
Yep.
Nice.
They also did that to our Smash Brothers, but recently, Smash Brothers went back up for some reason.
It's probably because
they probably finally reviewed it and went, oh, they're actually talking about it. They were showing off the okay, whatever.
Yeah, it was down. It was down for like 5 or 6 months easily.
Yeah.
I still laugh the fact that you guys had to fucking triple team me just to
I actually put a complaint in to Nintendo when that video went down. I wrote an email asking about the Fair Use Act and the fact that the footage was cut up. It was meant to be a review and that I've received no money for it and that we don't negative press the game in any way and that if they would just review it and finally 7 months later, the video is now back up. I never got an email from them, but the video, you can watch it now. Yep. So I'm guessing maybe I got lucky and I got through to somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But anyway, along with Jason, you forgot he also supplied the soundboard that we were using for the first podcast.
Which allowed for the Voice of Death to happen.
Yep.
And the original podcast.
Yep.
He was also camera.
Yep.
He a lot of times.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
His status right now
is
I'd say there's a good chance he's not coming back. I've talked to him myself, and he said it's not basically that he doesn't want to, it's that in his mind he doesn't feel like he can contribute because once we get going, he is not the kind of person that is into fandom. He's not a fandom type person. He doesn't get so into something. Like, he watches a movie, the movie's over, that's it, we move on. Like, Star Wars is a movie. End of story, that's it. There's no debating, there's no ethical content, there's no arguing where you go from there.
Unless you get into music
it's
with
over.
him.
It's done.
Yeah.
So
No,
you
if
move
you get
on.
into music with him,
He'll debate you
man.
till the end of the world.
Well, you see that, but see, that's what's interesting about it. That's the reason he was in the Back to the Future video, because I told him I needed him to talk on the history of rock and roll.
yep,
Yep.
and he did.
So, there's a good chance, there's a damn good chance he's not coming back, and that does suck.
He
but
might make a couple.
Yeah, I was about to say it.
he's not going to be an actual member. I know that for sure. He just doesn't have the interest right now. He's trying to get his stuff together. Maybe in the future he might sign on as an actual member of Reploid Productions, but as it stands now, he's not coming back in that way.
Yeah.
Now we go to Ryan. Ryan is a special guest. He's been a camera operator, a lights operator.
He's also broken a light with his head.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Which is why he got the nickname Light Bulb.
Yeah, he's been a host and he's been a co-host in
Couple
9
episodes.
Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because
I
we
was
did
about
the
to
Mega
say.
Man thing. And he had the funniest part in the Mega Man one, which I'll post it as soon as I can. As soon as my computer's up and going again, I'll get to post these.
We have to finish that off too.
He's got this, there's this part where
And it's on
Spencer
Spencer's
runs up
Xbox.
and he gets stopped by Sniper Joe. And he's shooting at Sniper Joe, and Joe's just standing there, and he won't move the shield. And finally, somebody's like, just jump him. And he goes to jump, and Sniper Joe jumps at the same time and hits him. And right when that happens, when Sniper Joe lands back on the ground, Ryan goes, "You shall not pass!" And it's the best part of that Let's
I
Play.
forgot about that.
Dude,
one.
it's absolutely hilarious.
It is. That's really.
But he's not necessarily gone. He's got a lot of things that he's doing, but he will be coming back as really co-hosts and things like that whenever he gets the opportunities. He says he's interested, not so much of like signing up and taking on like a major workload, but he doesn't mind stopping in to be a co-host every now and then.
Yeah, not to mention
just
the
been a
fact that he
while
was also
since-
helping out with
it's been a while
the
since we've
monster
talked to him.
fights.
The next person on our list is Angie White. She was responsible for
The Jedi robes.
making costumes. That's the only credit she gets, but I'm crediting her here because I couldn't have done the costume without her. It would have been an absolute impossibility to do the costume without her. I don't have that skill set. She's the one that made the tunic. She's the one that made the belt system. She's the one that made the tassels that come. She made the robe. She bought this big, flat, just thing of fabric, and she cut it and cut it and cut it and sewed and sewed. It took her like 4 or 5 hours, but she actually made the robe from scratch. She did all of that. All the seams and everything.
He had a custom-made robe. I had a black duster and an old wrestling cowl.
So
Actually,
Sith retard
Okay.
for the win!
look, to be fair, technically that started out as a Halloween costume. Then when me and a bunch of my other friends got into backyard wrestling, I used that as part of my gimmick, okay?
Yep, and then now
it's just
Sith hood
Sith hood.
for the Sith retards.
With a
last
cape and a
person
cowl.
to be mentioned that has worked with us is a girl named Megan. This was originally
Jack's girlfriend.
Jack's girlfriend.
At
And
the time.
Yeah, that was at the time. Now, all I could say is she worked as a camera person for a little while, and that's all she did, but I'm going to give her the credit right here because she did work camera for us when we were in a bind once or twice, so I have to mention her. That's everybody that has been involved with us so far. So,
The people left are...
to finish this off,
the 5 people still in the room with us.
this off, we have essentially 6 major members and 1 possible member. That is me, William, Shane, Seth, Nick, Jeremy, Greg, and possibly, if we can get the scheduling right, Spencer will come back. And I think he would be a credit to the show, and I'm hoping he gets the chance to come back because I really like a lot of the stuff that he does. He's funny. He's been a big help.
Hell, one of your favorite things that we've done in the past was the Halo episodes.
Yeah. One of my
me
favorite
and Spencer
things
will not fucking get off of each other's throats.
One of my favorite things ever that he's ever done on this show,
other than pissing your face,
was when we did the NES controllers that you can't watch.
Yeah, it's depressing.
But the NES controllers, there's a part in there when he's trying to play with the NES Max, and he's like, this thing feels like it's going to break. And he hands it to Nick, and Nick starts playing with it, and he says, this kind of feels like one of those old Tiger electronic games. And he rips it out of Nick's hand, and he goes, yeah, but without the fun. That was one of the best moments of that whole video.
Not to mention the fact that actually we do have to give Spence a couple more credits, because he come up with one of our major catchphrases, which is, of course, Jack taking a shit. And
he
because
helped out with that one because he was sitting there taking a shit.
because he was there taking a shit, but at the same time, because it kept making you laugh so much,
he actually caused
it actually caused Bill to come up with another one of our phrases, which is professional and shameless.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's shame with an M, not an N. We cannot be shameless because then we lose our douchebag.
I don't ever use that anymore, but for a while I was doing that. I was always like, professional!
Yeah.
We still do from time to time.
I kept walking out of that bathroom and everybody was laughing. I was like, stop laughing! Stop laughing! I'm gonna do this!
We gotta
be professional!
Damn it!
The best part about that is, me and Shane, if you actually watch ours taking over, me and Shane are sitting up there playing fucking Rainbow Six, Vegas 2, or whatever. We're just sitting there playing it.
Yeah, they were wondering what the fuck was going on.
And then all of a sudden we hear, stop blaming, professional! Like, what the fuck was that?
They were like, what is going on?
And then I get shot in the back by Shane. I'm like, damn it, Shane!
So this has been the next Fandom Night. This has been episode 6. And I hope you stick around. This is going to be a very common thing for us. I'm going to try to keep this podcast going. I want to put up an episode at very least once a week. And so far, we're making pretty good progress with that. So stick with us. Remember our contact information and let us know what you think. Hey, guys, did you like that podcast? If so, remember to check out fandomknight.com. At fandomknight.com, you can drop a line to this show, or you could check out other podcasts as well. We cover all kinds of topics, everything from comic books, wrestling, movies, TV shows, video games, animes, mangas. It's outrageous. We seem to have a podcast for just about everything, and you have access to it just by going over to fandomknight.com. So check it out, guys. We're going to get out of here.